Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1374, August 30, 2024. People in 1941 at the fair probably were hauled away in ambulances, or they set up some triage tents because it was 96 degrees. And then in 1935 and 1974, early morning at the fair would have been 45 degrees. And on this day...
You're talking about today?
This day in 1977, 7 inches of rain.
Oh,
I don't recall that.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Before we begin with
before we begin, let's start the party. Who wants to see the big time Shirt of the Year award? All right, everybody.
Where did you get that shirt?
Isn't that beautiful? I've never felt so close to Joe and Pat. I've never felt so close.
I love
to
the
these guys.
pineapples, man.
I'd like a shirt like that.
What do the pineapples signify?
Fruity.
Wait.
These guys are fruity.
Rook, I know exactly what photo that's from. That's the black and white photo in the studio where it's Mr. Muchacho and Eddie Haskell.
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's what it
exactly
is.
what
Thank
photo
you.
that's from.
Wonderful.
Do you like that?
I do.
Joe looks very frightened, though. Look at him.
Yeah.
Here, touch yourself.
Why am I on a pineapple?
How you doing?
Lower. Is Heidi here?
Heidi.
Heidi is Meadow's mother.
Heidi is the one that had it made.
Oh, she had
this
made?
made.
She should have had 1,000
Well, how
made.
about a couple more, baby?
Yeah.
Let's go.
I think she was rumored to be coming out here. I don't think she's here yet.
All right, man.
So she missed the unveiling.
Thank you.
But I'm very, very happy to wear you very
That's
close to my
wonderful.
breast.
It's wonderful.
Yes.
Before I introduce some of the best musicians in the world, I got to ask the GLers a question. I'm not going to burden you. You don't have to think about it today. And I know I'm preaching to the choir, but you have to think about it. The headline in today's Minnesota Star Tribune is, "You just lived through the most humid summer." Okay?
Oh, hold on.
A,
Wait a minute.
It's still summer for another month. B, we don't know that. And C, what I want you to think about is, and they've been a reliable, useful organ for the movement, the hysterian movement. But what is the end game we're supposed to be thinking about? Serious question. You know, not today. It's the fair. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. What is the end game? If we just lived through the most humid summer, what's next? What is the end game? What hysteria are we supposed to capture here? And by the way, the record, and then I'll quit. I'll stop.
Next thing's probably going to be about rainfall or something like that.
The record rainfall.
Oh, my God.
What is the record rainfall for 24 hours? Now, given the hysteria, wouldn't it have been recently? Would it have been recently?
Yes.
Yes,
It's
Joe.
a nodding crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, we like to nod. Yeah.
Okay.
Lost his place.
No, according to the World Meteorological Association,
Fun crew.
71.8 inches of rain fell in 24 hours at Fak.
Hey, now.
Same to you, buddy.
Hit the dump on that one.
FOC, Fak, on the French island territory of Reunion in the Indian Ocean on January 7th and 8th, 1966.
Huh.
All right. Previously, the record stood at 73 inches. That's higher. That's higher than 71.8.
That's a good point.
So the record,
It was
73,
a light rain.
73 inches fell on Fak.
Yep.
You.
Don't call me a you.
You.
So in Fak, we had 24 hours of rain in 1952, 73 inches. All right? And I'm willing to bet they experienced some humidity. Don't you think? Okay, we'll talk about it when we're back in the studio.
Aren't you captivated?
What about drought? You
What,
got any drought news?
What's the end game here for this utter BS?
I didn't want to participate in this discussion, but I guarantee you next year at this time they will be saying this summer has been the most humid summer on record. They're going to do it again forever and ever. Amen.
Okay, we have with us Pat Donahue. Pat, raise your hand. Pat is a Grammy winner. He was just inducted into the Minnesota Blues Society Hall of Fame for Performer of the Year in 2024. Pat was on Garrison Keillor's show for decades as I suppose you were the orchestra leader, weren't you?
No, that was Rich Dworsky, but I was the guitar player and songwriter.
I was in a band with Al Dworsky.
With Al, his brother, yeah.
Yeah, his brother.
He's a percussionist, right?
Yeah. Well, not at the time. I was supposedly the percussionist.
Allegedly.
And Al was the keyboard player.
Allegedly.
Yeah. And we also have the world's greatest piano player to accompany the world's greatest guitarist, Stephen C. Anderson. Stephen C. John Heidt has brought in his guitar. And we just thought you would all enjoy on this gorgeous, gorgeous day some of the best music you're going to hear anywhere, much less at the fair. No one else can claim to have these stalwarts appearing on the behalf of GLers all over. Why do I need that?
Just so it doesn't blow around.
All over Gumption County. These are the best musicians we could possibly find. Pat Donahue, Stephen C., John Heidt, I'm putting you in that same class.
Well,
How do you like that?
I'm not in that class,
How do you
but
like that?
I appreciate that.
What do you
Pat,
guys want to do, Steve and Pat?
I got a very Minnesota sort of a blues song here.
All right, we would love to hear
it's
it.
called It Could Be Worse, which is our survival saying here in the Midwest.
It could be worse.
This one's in E, boys.
Just like rehearsal.
All right, could be worse.
Well, I woke up this morning and stumbled out of bed. I looked at my reflection and I thought I must be dead. I'm older and I'm balder than I was just yesterday. But wait until tomorrow, I wish it was today. But life is what you make it, a blessing or a curse. Man, it could be worse. You know my world was in a nosedive, spinning round and round. Everything was starting up and then it started down. And when my baby left me, I thought it was the end. She took my love and money, but I'm telling you, my friend, I bet it's not the last time, but I know it's not the first. But man, it could be worse. Oh yeah, you know it could be worse. It could be worse. Yeah, you're riding on a bubble, and when the bubble bursts, there ain't no use complaining about your highs and lows. You take your guess and do your best, and that's the way it goes. And when it goes, it never goes the way you rehearse, Johnny, but yeah, it could be worse, right? In his heaven, there was nothing to be done. He looked around and said, I think I'll have a little fun. So he started off the Big Bang, gave birth to time, and ever since then things been getting further out of line. Well, there's a whole lot of trouble in his big old universe, but man, it could be worse. Yeah, you know, it could be worse. It could be worse. Yeah, you throw it into forward, but you'll wind up in reverse. But there's one thing to remember when things are going wrong. Life is like a highway, and as you ride along, until the day you're riding in the backseat of a hearse, I said, man, it could be worse.
Oh, yeah! Yeah! Whoa! Woo! Gumption County residents, fantastic. Holy mackerel. Pat Donahue, Stephen C., and John Heidt. It could be worse. That's a Donahue original, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that on a CD somewhere?
According to our lawyers, yes, it is.
Yes.
Well, of course it is.
Right, exactly.
These guys are giving us permission no matter what they play. So
I
you
meant to
guys
talk
are
to you about that ahead of time.
you guys are aware of the some goofy music laws that apply to podcasts, but not today. Not today.
What
They
was
could
the
be in-
line? God was bored, so he made the Big Bang,
That's a synopsis, yeah.
and then invented time.
That's
So
right.
Very, very clever. Very
As I understand it.
clever. Yeah.
Boys, we've dedicated the show to you mostly. It's either that or I continue to talk about rain records.
No.
Oh, we
Yeah.
can play songs all day. Forget
I know
that.
you could. I know you could. Pat, tell us about this Blues Hall of Fame, Blues Society. What is that exactly?
Minnesota Blues Society is, I don't know how many, probably 3 decades or so it's been around, and they promote blues here in Minnesota. And it's, they promote gigs, and they promote just the idea of it, festivals, things like that. And
Is Minnesota have a good blues history?
it really does. You know, you'd have to dig in a little bit because the other end of the Mississippi River is really where all the
Right.
blues history is, but we got our share of it up here, too.
Have you ever gone south and just unannounced sat in some old bar in Mississippi or Alabama and played with anyone?
No, I don't know what would happen to me if I did that, but I haven't so far.
Stephen C., have you ever showed up unannounced somewhere and just started playing?
I think there was one of those pianos like on Grand Avenue just sitting there, and I gave it a whirl, and
Yeah.
a few people stopped by, and I thought, that's enough of that.
Right. What else do you guys want? John, you appear unannounced wherever you can.
Well, I have in the past. You show up for the jam sessions, and then you feel ashamed, and you walk out.
Right.
So.
You're in the penalty box for 2 minutes.
Exactly.
What do you guys want? Keep going, guys. You're the best. And boy, the GLers signed up for this on a lovely day. You're not going to beat this kind of entertainment here at the State Fair. So tell us what you're up to.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, I have a brand new one, Joe.
All right.
Oh.
This is in A now.
Hey, we love new songs, especially when we don't know them. Never stop us.
If you come from Minnesota, you're the ones I'm talking to. It's a tough road to hoe to have the Minnesota blues. It's true. I know because I'm one of you. It's where you come to know the real Minnesota blues. Well, now some get casserole, we get a hot dish. Well, some get shrimp creole, and we get lutefisk. What the hell? Smells like the inside of my shoes. A most peculiar odor, that's the real Minnesota blues. Well, now the twins will get your hopes up and leave you broken hearted. And then there's the Vikings. Oh, don't even get me started. It's no use. A real seminar in how to lose. That's a 63-year loader, the real Minnesota blues. Hey, let's just take one of my piano there, man.
With his feet.
Oh, I got one more verse here. Now one of these days, the blues are gonna get you, and all you're gonna say is, oofta, yeah, you betcha. It's the truth. From Mankato to Duluth, Bemidji to Winona, Wisconsin to Dakota, my rusted out Toyota won't make it to the border. By the time somebody wrote a real Minnesota blues.
Spectacular.
Standing ovation.
Usually I ask guests where they're appearing at the fair. You know where these guys are appearing? Right here.
At the fair.
Right here at the fair within the fair. Say, I want to tell you about Renewal. Renewal by Anderson for the best windows and entry doors in the world. Renewal has been around a long time, and right now there's a State Fair sale. through September 2nd. Buy a window, get one 40% off. Buy another one, get one 40% off. No money down, no monthly payments, and no interest for 12 months. These are Renewal's acclaimed window replacements. Great engineering and innovation. They're gorgeous. They're durable. They work. They keep out that wind-driven rain we've been experiencing. And if you need new doors, the State Fair sale pricing is also good on the new ensemble entry doors exclusively for Renewal by Anderson. Learn more at renewalbyanderson.com/Garage Logic or call Renewal by Anderson at 651-705-6931. Been able to hear it?
Yeah, he was open.
Oh, you were in the crowd?
You didn't notice he was gone, did you?
Not really.
That's just her.
I know. If you're offended,
Give me the high side when you get
Don't go anywhere.
Johnny, I'm just going to read a quick liner. And this portion of Garage Logic live at the Minnesota State Fair is brought to us by our friends at Donahue Stucco and Exteriors.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, boys. Oh, that's wonderful.
Joe,
Sounded like something.
Kenny?
I'm kind of depressed. I checked out of my home away from home this morning
no.
at 9:30.
Can't do the laundry
You have to
anymore.
wash
The
those sheets
courtyard
twice.
by Mary. You know what I did? I pulled the sheets. I'm a really good hotel patron. I piled my garbage up, the towels, pulled the sheets. I absolutely love staying up at the Courtyard by Marriott in Roseville. Ran into some GLers up there. I always stay there when I come to town because it's close to everything, everywhere I need to go, both downtowns and, of course, Minnesota State Fair and work for me, featuring brand new everything. The whole place has been remodeled here in the course of the last 2 years, so it's a brand new joint. And like Joe said, I always use the laundry. Did my laundry this week. Cost me a total of $4. Pretty happy with that. But what you need to know is GLers, you can stay there now. and get 20% off a weekend getaway anytime now through the end of March and experience what I've experienced. A wonderful stay. I believe they're a 20-star hotel, if I'm not wrong.
20?
Wow,
20, that's a
20.
new rating.
20 stars.
Out of what?
Out of 20, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Log on to garagelogic.com and click on the Courtyard by Marriott link.
Is that a Minnesota thing that you clean up before? We did the same thing when we were in Chicago and in Croatia.
I have
clean everything-
relatives in the business, and I've been instructed to do that, or I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That's
We
not
got weed! We got weed!
got
We got
weed.
weed! We got weed!
That's coming actually from the back room.
Oh, okay. I gotta go.
Yeah. It's
Say,
going
I
back
want to
to-
remind GLers there's a talk shop right around the corner, and this Spoon Lake shirt has been flying off the shelves. It's the bomb.
Do you know who the original designer of that was?
Why don't you tell us?
This young lady right over here with the hat on.
It's got the cool lures on the back. The Spoon Lake shirt.
She gets nothing
What
for
size
it. But
is this? I'm not giving this back. This is a beauty.
yeah,
it's
that's
an XL.
That's a good one.
Say, I hope the headline in tomorrow's Minnesota newspaper says most gorgeous day ever at the State Fair. Do you
Yeah,
think they'll have
perfect.
that? You think they would have that? Now, do you realize yesterday, and we noticed this because we're fair experts,
Yeah.
because we notice square footage of pavement, don't we?
Yes.
And yesterday we just saw so much pavement. It turns out yesterday set one of its lowest attendance days in record.
Wasn't that due to the incoming apocalypse that hit
Of course it was, Chris.
Did we get weather?
He kind of ruined your punchline there. Didn't he?
Wait, what punch? What?
No, you know what it proves to me? Fairgoers are fair weather friends.
Yeah.
They show up when it's gorgeous, and today might be the best fair day in the history of the State Fair.
You think so?
In the entire history
Ever?
of this. Well, because on this day in 1940 something, what did I tell you? 1941, it was too hot.
Yeah.
Although there was no one around then to tell you that it was too hot. So maybe people enjoyed it. We are really lucky to be joined by Pat Donahue and Stephen C. Anderson and John Heidt, because we're trying to we are turning this Friday into a musical event for the people, and this is one of the greatest crowds of garage logicians we've had. Are you enjoying this music? Patrick and Stephen, it's been our finding that GLers at the fair really love music. They love to be entertained by music.
That's
And
even people just walking by that don't know
They'll
who
stop.
Right, they'll just stop and listen to music.
So take it away, boys, whatever you want to do for us.
All right, Joe, I have another song I made up. This is an odd song because it's an election year song, but it's not political.
Okay.
All right, it's just about people, I guess.
All right.
My opinion means all the world to me. In my opinion, it's what all opinions should be. Conversation would reveal before too long that I think you're nuts, I hate your guts, I'm right and you're wrong.
Yeah.
And the nastiness I spew is filled with great virtue. Add to that my high IQ. So cool, so true, so not like you. No matter if you're my mother, child, or wife. My opinion is the true love of my life. I've got this.
All right.
And I must constantly express my great self-righteousness, 'cause I know best, and the rest just guess. But I digress. There's just one thing I never get tired of. That's my opinion, my true love. That's my opinion, my true love.
Are you still at the Are you going to resume playing at the Midway Saloon?
Yes, this coming Wednesday we'll be back at it 6 to 8 on Wednesday nights. Pat Donahue and friends. It's fun.
Does Stephen C. ever join you?
He does.
Oh,
yeah.
wonderful.
Got to do that again soon, by the way.
Yeah. The Midway Saloon's right across from the soccer stadium.
It is. So when there's a soccer game, we don't play there. But that's only a couple times a year.
Yeah.
It's Wednesday night.
And then your website would also include where else you are going to be around town.
Theoretically, yes.
Sure.
Talk about the logistics between the three of you of not practicing with each other and trying to know what to play. To someone like me, I could never do that. Obviously, I don't play music.
I know every time we play with somebody, this amazes you. Because you always bring it up, but there's certain
All
sets
Patrick has to tell you is the key.
Well, and there's certain sets of chords that go together. Pat's, like, that was a little more complicated than your standard blues, obviously. But, it was after a couple plays through, we all were fine with it. And so there's standard kind of chord changes you do. And the melody, you work out, and you've been playing for, however many years, and you kind of just fall into it.
These guys are pros, Joe.
Well,
These are pros.
So play something, and you guys follow up with what Johnny's going to do.
So you want me to play something?
Yeah,
So
just going to be a jam.
Just a random, yeah.
Put a curve.
So what you're doing, Rook, is you're doubting whether Stephen and Patrick can keep up?
No. I'm showcasing them. I'm saying I think that's an amazing feat.
Right.
Having just to start, I think it's admirable.
I'm going to throw him a little curve here now. You ready? See, you and Pat followed that fine.
Yep.
That's
That's fantastic. Wow.
That's really amazing.
Wow. Thank you, boys.
Off the cuff.
As the crew in the back just said, no wonder you won a Grammy.
All three of you guys were in garage bands to a certain extent. I know, Stephen C., you were. What was the name of it?
That was Ground Control.
Ground
He had
Control?
Really big hair.
Yeah. Patrick, what was yours?
Well, the first band I was ever in was with your cousin Phil.
Oh, yeah?
And
What did he play?
he played guitar and sang,
Yeah.
and did really well. And it was a band that we called the Shamrockers, but it was
Okay.
in 7th grade. So
7th grade. All right. Were you in a band in high school?
yeah, that was called the Jimmy Joe Lewis and the All Night Eagle Blues Band.
Oh,
nice.
yes.
Long title.
that had to be a good band with
Yeah.
that name.
Not a catchy name, but
Did you get work?
you could call it that. Yeah, we played dances and parties and you
Yeah.
know, garages,
Yeah.
things like that.
Did you practice in your garage?
Practiced in my dining room
In the
until
dining
my
room?
dad came home. Then
Yeah.
practice was over.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to practice in the garage, and the local cop, Swede, would stop by and ask the old man, "How long is this going to last, Henry?" And my dad said, I really don't know. And he said, "Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to last till 10." And then it was going to end.
It's cut down time.
That's right. And you've all stuck with it from those days. I think that's what's fantastic. And all three of you are making a living from it. Well, I'm throwing you in because
okay.
of you're not just a newsman.
You okay?
You're a guitar
So
player.
you're gonna start
Are you
paying
getting
me to
paid
play
extra?
guitar?
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
you're paying.
I didn't go that far.
I'll let Mary know.
Yeah. Boys, before I do a break, will you do another one? Stephen C. can pick it. I don't care who does it. You're all fantastic.
Well, I'd like to try something a little bit experimental and mellow for the state fair. It's an instrumental song called Daybreak, and so if there's ever a time to kind of chillax a little bit, this is my song Daybreak. And if you kind of hear the intro and cheer a little bit, it'll make me feel like I have a hit on my song. So
Isn't that a
try
Barry
that.
Manilow song too?
Yeah, but he stole it from me.
Okay, good.
All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah!
The State Fair Daybreak Special. Thank you.
But when you play that,
Wow.
is there because you do the movements and all that stuff, do you feel less comfortable than you would at a grand piano?
Slightly. I mean, this is the best fake piano we have. They wouldn't let me take my 9-foot piano here today.
Smart.
Logistics and stuff,
But
next
it just,
year.
just
next
doesn't hold
year.
the same as playing with a
Right.
big piano.
It's pretty close, though.
Stephen, why don't you tell them, because that's readily available everywhere, Spotify, YouTube, why don't you just tell people how they can listen to your music?
If you just Google Stephen C. Daybreak, it's on Pandora a lot, and I got this crazy idea to move my piano in front of the cathedral, and as the sun rose, and it actually happened, so you can find that as well, too. So.
Cool.
Very cool video.
Daybreak.
Yeah. And a ton of other Stephen C. stuff, too, that you can find online everywhere.
Same with Patrick's stuff.
Same with Patrick.
Yeah.
Tons
How about
of
you?
great
How about
Patrick
your
stuff.
stuff?
Well, Joe,
I have it on my desktop.
I watch Patrick's and Stevens. Does that count?
Patrick, do you have a stucco house?
I do, as a matter of fact.
Well, then this is for you.
Wow, what a segue.
Let me tell you something.
Power segue.
I know how I'm going to do this now.
I know you are.
You listen to this show, you get your whole house taken care of. Donley Stucco and Exteriors is a complete exterior contractor and restoration company. They not only bring you this patio that we're on, this deck, but they are the oldest stucco business in town. Stucco and plaster are an art. And Donley Stucco has been around for 100 years. High-quality construction solutions for the Twin Cities Metro, from small patches to full home facelifts, interior plaster repair and refinish. And every exterior assessment is free. You might want to contact them about leaky roofs or damage assessments. And they offer the solutions, and they know what they're doing. They're all locally owned damage repair company. Donley Stucco, been around for 100 years. Go to Donley, Donnelly, Donley Stucco, one word, DonleyStucco.com, or call Donley Stucco at 612-722-4200 for a free estimate.
down the way. I see that too.
There's that guy over in the red one that says, I am the gimp over there.
Yeah, he can keep that one.
Look at those two fine airport police department officers. MSP Airport's finest.
We're sorry.
Thank
that
you,
you're here
ladies.
With Matthew.
Well, what are they doing here? There ain't no planes at the fair.
No, they're wondering why I'm not at work.
Are we ready to do the show?
Yes.
All right.
I see a Seafoam shirt too.
This
Yep.
portion of Garage Logic at the Minnesota State Fair is brought to us by our friends at Pronto Pups, bringing you the priceless Such on a Stick.
Thank you, boys.
Speaking of Seafoam, that's something you should always have in your emergency kit in your car. A candy bar, pack of heaters, jumper cables, Seafoam motor treatment, and more importantly, during the summer, Bugs Be Gone. Every American should have that in their vehicle. The Seafoam motor treatment, just so you can give that daily driver of yours, give her a shot once a month. Just keep her happy. Bugs Be Gone, so you can see where you need to get to. The Bugs Be Gone, it safely removes organic crud, bugs, dirt, bird poop, road grime, brake dust, something Such calls soot.
No, I call it soot.
It's soot.
It's soot.
Soot.
It's
Anyway,
not soot.
it takes care of that. And I've been hearing from a lot of GLers that Bugs Be Gone is so popular now during the summer months.
How popular is
popular
it?
is
A lot of retail outlets are running out of it. That's where Kenny comes into play. You can order Bugs Be Gone. Just go to bugsbegoneworks.com and order it up in any form you want. Again, that's bugsbegoneworks.com. Another fine product from Seafoam. We're talking Bugs Be Gone.
Any GLers here from the St. Cloud area? All right, a few hands went up. We're joined by Sue Eck. You're running for House District 14B. Sue, put that microphone up there by your, there you go. And you're running against Dan.
Wolgamon.
All right, but you need to win because, do you like this, GLers? We must make life more affordable by reducing taxes and cutting burdensome mandates. You like
Here,
that
here,
one?
harumph,
You like
harumph.
that one? You like this one? Minnesotans do not want our state to become a sanctuary state and allow non-citizens to overwhelm and take resources away from our friends and neighbors. We like that one?
Here, here.
Yes, yes. Parents should have a greater say in the education of their children.
Yes.
Hey now.
Amen.
Hey now.
And I also think homeschooling is playing a nice role in our society these days. So I want to be supportive of those families who sacrifice.
All right.
You know, it can't be easy.
Safe communities and neighborhoods, including safety in schools, need to be priority. Yes. All right.
Yep.
And by electing Sue and adding balance to the Minnesota House of Representatives, you will have a stronger voice in St. Paul. I know that to be a fact. I've met you. You are a deep believer in less government is better government, and we're seeing it running away from us.
We are. The problem is that the governor's a Democrat, the House of Representatives is controlled by Democrats, and so is the Senate. So my big thing is let's bring balance back to the legislature, and I'm one good way of doing that. I'm the opposite of my opponent. Our values are completely opposite, so it's a fun race. I'm getting a lot of good feedback.
And you have run before, you had a resident problem, so you were off the ballot. This time you're in St. Cloud. This is not at question. And what else can you tell us? I mean, we already know that the Democrats spent the surplus. They were supposed to give us $2,000 each, apparently.
Right. And we got $260 each. It's crazy. And they spent $730 million on a new luxury office building that they didn't need.
No, it was not needed.
It's really wasteful
Yeah.
spending. And if we had balance in the legislature, a balanced voting pool from our elected officials, we could put some of this, we could tame it back a little bit. We don't have to be spending crazily and using taxpayer money.
All right,
for
have
everything.
you been paying rapt attention?
Thank you.
Have you been paying rapt attention to the Harris Walls campaign?
Oh, yes.
Have you? Did you see the interview last night? It was called an interview.
You know, I opted for a plan through Spectrum in St. Cloud called Select. It's a select plan, and I opted to only have Fox News. So
all right.
I couldn't access CNN. However,
Yeah.
I've been watching snippets of it, and
Yeah.
she looked weak.
It was wonderful. It was just great. Even Walls was confused by some of her
Word
word
salad.
salads.
Yeah.
Sue, it's good to have you here. Are you going to be appearing at the Republican booth here at the fair?
I'm on my way there now to say hi to the gang and to bring them some of my pieces, and then I'll probably head back to St. Cloud and do some door knocking.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Sue Eck.
Thank you.
It's House District 14B in the St. Cloud area.
Maybe she will crack the code.
She'll break the curse.
She'll crack the curse.
Yeah, that's.
We should, full disclosure.
You're right, Rook. Full disclosure, everybody that we've ever cheered on, everybody that we've championed has never won.
Oh, great.
So,
Now you tell me.
yeah. Well, I had to have
Can't
you
thank you enough for the time.
I'll crack the code.
Good to have you
right, you're
over.
right. You will. You will for sure.
All right, thanks, Sue.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. We have Pat Donahue with us, Stephen C., and Johnny Heidt. I want to say, as Sue heads over to the Republican booth, no Republicans have appeared with us this year. I feel most of them are gutless, and they could have solved their leadership problem a long time ago, and they failed to do so. I don't know how that will stand them in good stead with people. We'll find out.
They haven't really been held accountable, have they?
What was that for?
Just ringing true the idea.
Joe's
that
frustration.
I'm gonna echo Pat's song. It's my opinion. It's the right one. There's no doubt about it.
You've been telling us that for 25 years.
And it's
Why
worked
is that
out
something
for you,
new?
hasn't it?
Yeah,
No,
well,
the line is he looks and he says, I'm not arguing with you. I'm just telling you why you're wrong.
I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm just explaining why you're wrong. That's all.
And I could agree with you, but then we'd both be wrong.
Right.
We're not
Wow.
here to argue, fellas.
Not on a day like this, probably the most gorgeous day in the entire history of the Minnesota State Fair. Not just this year, or not last year or the year before. This might be the most beautiful day in the history of the State Fair, and I predict it will set an attendance record.
I think you're right.
No, very little pavement is visible. Very little pavement
We got
is
pretty
visible.
lucky this year weather-wise, except for that hot Monday.
Well, Matt,
Rain-wise.
we had a hot Monday, and then we had a very bad Thursday with the storm coming in.
I mean, a show-wise.
I
though.
see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
That's because I
Yeah.
just lived through the most
Yeah.
humid summer ever, according to the Minnesota Star Tribune.
No. This means the world. And it also says the sweltering conditions which have pushed this year's heat close to the limits of survivability in some areas and fueled flooding. I could do the sense winds, but we're at the fair.
We don't know
I won't
that.
do it. It's all caused by human-caused climate change.
We don't know.
We don't know that. Whoa.
Did anybody else?
Will we even be here next year?
We will disintegrate.
Did anybody witness the accident out front on the sidewalk about 10 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Out here?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I did not.
There were two scooters,
Uh-oh.
and two ladies were driving the scooter, and the other lady slowed down. First lady slowed down. Second lady didn't slow down, and kapooyah!
It was right in the middle of Stephen doing Daybreak, and I
Oh,
did not
no.
want to start laughing
Right.
when Stephen was playing Daybreak.
Was there any injuries? Please tell me there weren't.
No injuries, but that second lady was like my dad, Bob, going through Walmart, grabbing the sausage aisle or whatever it was. He will not be denied.
Pat just wants to point out, like I do, that they were driving scooter.
Driving scooter.
Driving scooter?
Driving scooter.
Not driving a scooter?
No, driving scooter.
Or the scooter. Just
Driving
driving scooter.
Yes.
Driving scooter.
Boys, we really love what you do. We just want to hear more.
Joe, do you play golf?
I do.
All right.
Not well.
Can I tell a little Joe golf story?
Sure.
Yes.
I want to, if it's okay, it's how I met Joe Soucheray. I was playing at some golf club, and I was playing this song.
Oh, waterfall? Yeah.
And this guy comes running up to the piano. I'm like, oh no, did I do something
Yeah,
wrong?
here
He
comes
said,
a weirdo.
What's that song?
Yeah.
And so I gave him the song, and the rest is history.
Every time I
But
see
it was
Steve,
at a
and he
certain
plays it.
golf club, and Pat likes golf, right, Pat?
I can't stand it. I tried to play when I was a kid.
Did
And,
your dad play?
Yeah, he did.
Did
He
he?
wanted me to play
Yeah.
in the worst way, and I
Right.
did.
Good son.
But I did get a song out of it.
Good.
If you could help me a little bit with this. It goes
Boom. All
like
right.
that. That's all you have to do, and you can stop snapping.
My
after
damn
that.
left thumb doesn't work anymore.
You don't want
What
to
the
snap
hell?
too long. Just
Yeah.
You can clap, Joe.
Here
Just
it
clap.
is.
All right. Yes.
Well, some people say golf is a game to relax. I used to be one of those weekend hacks. You chase a little round ball into a little round hole. It'll addle your mind and steal your soul. You play 18 holes, and what do you get? Greater frustration and deeper regret. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause Lord above, I owe my soul to the country club. Ready? Well, I was born once on a great sunshine. Picked up my clubs and I played the front nine. I learned how to swear on the number 9 hole, and the club pro said, "Kid, out you go. You play 18 holes, and what do you get? Greater frustration and deeper regret. Oh, St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause Lord above, I owe my soul to the country club." Yes, I spent one season on the PGA, but I lost my temper and they turned me away. I got so mad on the 18th green that I busted my putter on the Coke machine. So if you see me coming, better let me play through. I got a mean slice and I might bean you. I got a mind that's weak, a swing that's bad, a mouth that's foul, and pants that's plaid. You play 18 holes, and what do you get? Greater frustration and deeper regret. St. Peter, don't you call me, 'cause Lord above, I owe my soul to the country club. Ow! Dig it, Stephen C. Well, some people say a man was born to retire. Sell off the business and move to Fort Myers. Sweat all year long in the blazing sun for just one more shot at a hole-in-one. But I'll stay right here in the northern plains where the winter brings snow and the summer brings rain. I gotta do something, but it won't be golf, 'cause something about it just pisses me off. You play 18 holes, and what do you get? Greater frustration and deeper regret. St. Peter, make arrangements with Beelzebub. Woo! I owe my soul to the country club.
Bravo!
Pat, I should mention, does wonderful parodies, like that was, obviously. There's one called, what's the guitar player, the title of the song?
Would you like to play
Would
the
you like to
guitar?
play guitar, which is based on an old song called Swinging on a Star that is so good and so clever.
Well, can we hear it?
Why, that's up to Pat, not me.
I'm sure I will do it for you.
Sure, I don't know.
Oh, this is wonderful.
All
This
right.
is
You guys don't have to catch an Uber or anything, do you?
an Uber.
All right,
Guess not.
fantastic.
All right. Well, this has got a lot of chords in it.
It
so
does, so I'm just going to kind of once in a while,
on
you know,
here.
play a note.
A little song about
Does
my life
Steven-
as a
does
guitar
Steven know
player,
this
yeah.
one?
I'm going to pretend I know what he's doing.
All right.
Me too.
Turn the volume way down. And,
All right.
All right, you know, I dedicate this to my dad because I always wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer, but he said, no, you hang in there and go for the brass ring of folk guitar playing. So that's I wrote this. Would you like to play the guitar? Take your money home in a jar from a coffee house or a bar. would you rather get a job? Well, a job is the thing that makes you get out of bed and work every day until you're dead. Your back is aching and your brain is numb, and you just can't wait until the weekends come. But if you don't want to starve or beg or rob, you just might have to get a job. Or would you like to play the guitar, drive for miles and miles in your car, and pretend that you're a big star? Or would you rather book the gig? Well, the agent's the one who's gonna get his percent. What he said ain't exactly what he meant. He'll clean you out in ways you never thought, 'cause he's good at business and he knows you're not. And then he'll sue if you finally make it big, 'cause he's the guy that booked the gig. But would you like to play the guitar for a living? Hardy har har. I admit it's kind of bizarre. But would you rather be the wife? Well, the wife is the one who has to rescue our butts. She's either a saint or else she's nuts. She gets impatient and she gets annoyed, 'cause she's the one who must remain employed. And by the way, if you want to wreck your life, become a guitar player's wife, 'cause all the monkeys aren't in the zoo. They can be trained to play guitar too. Some do a whole lot better than you. But even if you don't go far, you could be worse off than you are. At least you're playing your guitar.
Oh, yeah.
That's I mean, you know, come on.
For the record, I nailed it.
Did you? You got it, huh?
Me too. I played 2 notes, I think, in that entire song.
I didn't hear one mistake, you guys.
Just like rehearsal.
You guys like Pronto Pups?
Yeah.
Sure, why not? It's the official food on a stick.
Why not?
It's the official food on a stick in Garage Logic. But more than that, John.
Yeah.
It's the first food on a stick in the history of the State Fair.
Wow.
1947, the Carnes family and Greg and Wayne Carnes, 2 great GLers, are still operating Pronto Pups, the original State Fair food on a stick and the official food on a stick in Garage Logic. It's the Minnesota State Fair's best food value. And, of course, it's a wiener done in a bun. And there are 8 great locations throughout the fairgrounds. Rook has told us there's one as close as a block away. Support Pronto Pups this year. Huh? It's a stone's throw away for that Pronto Pup booth, the official food on a stick in Garage Logic.
Hey, Johnny. I'm going to do an ad because Doris is ready. Okay. Ask Joe if he's ready, please. Are you ready?
Oh, do you want us to play after?
Yeah, no, go ahead. All right. Talent stand by. And this portion of Garage Logic at the Minnesota State Fair is once again brought to us by our friends at Donahue Stucco and Exteriors.
Thank you, boys.
Thanks to all of the GLers that have stopped by the Hofferman Water and Connecticut booth inside of the home improvement building. We just posted a couple of videos on social media because I stopped over there on Monday. What a cool spot. So if you're over there and you want to register, make sure you do so for that 36-inch Omnivore Blackstone griddle during the run of the Minnesota State Fair. They have moved locations, but they're still inside the home improvement building, and they have some great State Fair deals for whole home water treatment systems. And their booth is staffed by local water treatment experts. They're the absolute best. I've been a customer for about 8 years now, and they really did an amazing job of improving the quality of water inside of my home. So if you're dealing with contaminants, hair or skin issues, dingy and stiff laundry, or stains across your home's appliances and fixtures, Hofferman Water and Connecticut can help. You can find them online as well at HoffermanWater.com because they have proudly been serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. And please do me a favor and mention that you heard about them right here on the Garage Logic podcast. Joe? Joe's headphones are off. How are you?
Here's today's State Fair Animal. Patrick and Stephen, this is a time of the show when we do today's State Fair Animal with our Hall of Fame inductee, Doris Mold, who we couldn't do a State Fair show without. And Doris is bringing in today's State Fair. Oh, a rabbit. I know rabbits when I see them.
You like a nice rabbit, Joe?
I do like a good rabbit. And I have a question for Doris about rabbits. Doris, who have you brought with you?
Well, today we have Katie with us.
Katie. Hi, Katie.
Hi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Deer River, Minnesota.
Deer River?
Yeah.
Where is that?
That's like up by Grand Rapids.
Okay.
So I'm far up there.
All right. Are you a rabbit farmer?
I have rabbits and I also have meat goats.
Goats?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a rabbit.
Yeah.
And was it just born?
She was born this year. She's a junior doe. Even though she's a little on the chunky side.
I didn't know baby rabbits were called does. Well, first we're going to get this squared away here. I just kicked that rabbit aside.
We got to get him in the camera.
She's fine. She's used to it. She's a traveler.
Yes, she is. And you are Katie? Is that Doris? That's
yes,
Katie.
It's Katie. Yes, Katie.
Now, I want to get back to this naming. What's a doe?
What's a doe?
Yeah.
A female rabbit.
Oh, so it's a deer and a rabbit?
Joe, doe is universal among the many species.
Female deer, ray a drop of golden sun.
Well, how the Von Trapp family singers.
I call
Katie, why is there does this rabbit have a name?
She does not have a name.
Uh-huh. Well, no
Can we
wonder
give
you
her
kick
one?
her around on stage. She's probably a little insulted.
Hey, Joe, the rabbit was not getting kicked around.
I understand,
Katie
Doris.
was gently moving the cage.
Okay, now why is the rabbit here at the fair? Is this a special rabbit?
So, a little bit, yeah. So, she's a junior doe Californian, and she won the overall rabbit over at Beltrami County.
Oh, really?
For 4-H.
Wonderful.
So she's here, and we're gonna see if she can take another title at the state fair.
Oh, wonderful. Now, what qualified her to win the championship?
She's just a very nice, put together rabbit.
Uh-huh.
She just fits her breed characteristics more than the other rabbits.
What would those be? Some of those breed characteristics.
So she's clearly got the right color markings. So she has the black ears, the black nose. She's wide across the top. She doesn't slip anywhere.
Right.
So she's very like wide and very well put together.
Okay.
Just the way I like them.
What? How long would this rabbit last? In the urban environment, if you just dumped her out in somebody's front yard?
Not long.
Why would there be prey after her?
Yeah. She's like very domesticated. Like she's kind of my cuddle buddy.
Okay, so she's used to you, and she doesn't
Yeah.
want to be in the wild.
How soon?
Plus, she's good eating. I mean, look at the size
Yeah,
of her.
No,
you just
she's not
stepped
getting
on my
eaten.
my line.
This one's not getting eaten.
Oh,
She's going to produce meat animals, but she won't get eaten.
okay.
right.
So
Now-
she's that good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, I have an observation for Katie and or Doris, a serious one. I have seen more rabbits this year at home in the yard than I ever have previously, and many of them look like they have mental issues. They have a...
You're right.
No,
Well, they're
you're
hanging
right.
out in your yard, Joe, so
No.
I can understand that.
Joe, wait.
Okay, Doris.
Before you
Okay,
go on,
Doris.
let me ask you, Joe. Do they act like they're invisible? Like you
Yes.
can't see them?
Yes.
Isn't that weird?
And they have a knob on their head, a horn or something that I don't think should be there.
They're probably from South Dakota then.
Well,
Wow.
no,
No, well,
Pat, you live in St. Paul. You notice this?
I've noticed bunnies with the thing coming out of the
Thank
middle
you.
of their head.
Thank
Yes,
you. I'm not
absolutely.
making this up. This is an award-winning musician who's noticed the same thing.
I've wondered too.
okay. Well,
They're
there are
deformed.
different.
I
There are
hate-
different diseases.
I was trying.
That,
I was
that-
trying
that
not to
rabbits
use.
can have.
I was
Yes.
trying not to use the word, Doris, but they appear to be deformed.
Well, they can be. In fact, in Australia, they tried to use myxomatosis to try to reduce the rabbit population, and that greatly deformed the wild rabbits there that were introduced.
I don't care about
Joe,
Australia.
I think we use the term differently abled.
They're a differently
So-
abled rabbit.
So you will find that sometimes naturally occurring now in wild populations.
But why the increase in rabbits generally? Does that mean a depletion of fox?
Well,
and,
probably not as many animals preying on them. So not as many fox. Also, it was a very mild winter, so animals had more energy reserves and probably were able to reproduce more generously than they do when
I see.
they don't have as many
and they're,
resources.
rabbits generally produce like gangbusters anyway, right? I mean, they're boom, let's go.
They'll
here.
drag
Yeah.
it through anything.
Yeah.
They can have around like 6 to 10 in a litter.
All the time, right? I mean, they just go at it. They're rabbits. And they can do that every year, right?
Yes.
Multiple
they can do it
times.
multiple times a year,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
Would a turkey attack a rabbit, a wild turkey?
Probably.
Probably would.
A serious question. So do you...
All my questions have been serious.
As far as meat rabbits go, do you sell right to the public, or is this for friends and family?
We mainly sell to friends and family or use it for our own use.
If I were to ask for a dozen rabbits, what would that cost me? I want to eat them, so I want them.
Why don't you go 10?
I want them dead already.
We would have to look over at my mom, who's my accountant.
Yeah.
Where's your
she's-
mom?
She's over there.
Is that
in
mom
in the
right there?
shirt.
$15 a package.
All right, that's reasonable.
Now, is that, you get the whole rabbit, or is that cut up and cleaned up like a fish?
Nope, that's the whole rabbit.
Well, somebody's got to cut the head off the rabbit.
I can
so,
do that.
so the rabbit would be cleaned up, but it would be a whole rabbit. So it wouldn't be cut up. So it'd be like when you buy a whole fryer that is. like
Shove the
just-
whole rabbit in the oven.
it would
Boom.
be dressed.
It would be dressed.
Yeah,
yes,
dressed.
they
Thank
wouldn't leave any.
You just don't cape them out.
You got to get all the feathers off it. So.
You get all the
feathers.
fur off of
Fur,
it and then
fur.
take the intestines out. Yes.
Oh,
but
yeah, that's
then,
important.
What do
I-
rabbits do?
What do you mean? What do they
What do they
They,
do?
they reproduce. That's their whole deal.
I'm not being
you,
mean. I'm just, they don't
well-
really do anything. They hop
They're-
around.
well,
What a chicks, you know what? No ambition.
They're just
so Rook, what do you do? I mean,
about as much as the rabbits.
Yeah, they got a job at the airport. You know.
Yeah, right.
Do you know how sad right now Katie is that she came over here?
No.
Yeah,
These guys
sorry,
are
Katie.
dumb.
Katie, you listen to the show all the time, don't you?
Yeah.
Never heard of it, have you?
Yeah.
Her grandpa listened. Her grandpa listened.
Yeah, sure he did. How about your ma? Does she listen?
Not anymore.
No, she's.
She was nodding her head, but that might end today.
All right, now, when you're here at the fair, when will this rabbit be judged?
Sunday.
Sunday, and then you
And
get.
tomorrow.
And tomorrow, and then you get to be. Have you been here all week?
No, I got here today at like 7 a.m.
How'd you get here?
My mom drove me.
What does that have to do with anything?
It's one of my favorite. Who wrote? What am I thinking?
Hold on
of?
tight, Katie. Here we go.
It's Friday.
Here
Tell
we go.
that.
By the way, he is a non-drinker.
Well, I think actually Joe brought up a good point because we had animals that were here yesterday that aren't here today. We have 3 distinct groups of animals that usually come in.
What,
so
are
the
you his
first-
agent?
The first 4 days, we have 4-H animals. Second 4 days, we have open show animals. And the last 4 days, we have FFA animals and some open show animals as well.
I have a question for you, Doris. Are you sick of us?
No.
Gosh, it's been over 20 years. So, it's
Who
kind of
wrote?
like, it's kind of like marriage, Kenny.
Yeah, I get it.
Who wrote? Who am I thinking of? Who wrote Walter Mitty? Come on, help me.
James Thurber?
James Thurber.
Yeah.
So when I said, "How did you get here?" and you said, "My mom brought me," it reminded me of one of my favorite James Thurber stories when they're trying to get this big rural lineman ready for the Ohio State football team, but they got to get him through class, and he's having a hard time. And they say, "How did you get to school?" And he said, "My dad brung me." And it was a transportation class. They wanted to know in what form of transportation. They finally all started chanting, "Choo, choo, choo, choo." So the kids finally said, "Train." See?
Katie,
you really
thank
have to
you,
read
Katie.
it. It was,
I didn't follow that
You
quite.
have to read it. It was
Great. Are you
funnier
sure?
than hell the way Walter Mitty or way Thurber wrote it,
Are
but
you
I
sure
I
it wasn't
screwed it
the
up.
bus?
Oh, well, but if it was, I would take that bus.
That's right.
Katie, is this your first effort at winning a championship with a rabbit?
No.
And you're an accomplished champion?
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been winning since I was like little.
Nice.
Like as tall as those big trophies.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been winning since then.
Really?
Nice.
Wonderful. Good for you, and congratulations. And I hope this doesn't have a name yet.
She might get a name.
Okay, and she
Joe.
she could, and then at that point with a name, she might win, and you have a big trophy to take home.
I mean, I could name her Winner Winner Chicken Dinner 2.0. I have had a Winner Winner Chicken Dinner. And a
2.0?
Cheater Cheater Pumpkin Eater.
All right.
One final question. What are you going to do with your life?
Currently, I'm going to NDSU under
Oh.
a pre-vet major. So
Okay.
I want to do large animal vet, and
That's where the
specifically-
money is. The larger the animal.
And specifically want to work with like reproduction, so artificial insemination and
Oh,
genetics.
ick.
Stay.
Are your
Katie.
arms long enough? I don't know.
Katie, stay in school, or you're looking at the option right
Yeah.
here.
Stay in
Yeah,
school, or
yeah.
you'll be a traffic
You'll be a
reporter.
traffic
and
reporter and-
working at the fair.
Doing that stuff for free.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Doris, thank you, and Katie, thank you, and Doris, thank you for another wonderful run. It's just been great to see all these
Round of applause for Doris,
lovely
ladies and gentlemen.
animals.
She's the
Doris
absolute
Mold,
best.
she's in the Garage Logic Hall of Fame, ladies and gentlemen.
Our pleasure, Joe. Thank
you very much. Good luck, Katie. There we go. Do you guys got an animal song to send them on their way? Is there any kind of an animal
Animals.
song we could do?
Thank you, Doris.
Thanks, Doris.
Thanks, Doris.
Have a good year and see you later.
You know what she's saying right now? Thank God that's over.
Yeah, we done already?
Bye, Doris.
See you, Doris. All right, there they go, and they're that's a rabbit. We've had a rabbit now this year. Here we go.
You want to take a time out, boss?
That
Well,
was
I'm gonna
fun,
tell
Joe.
you.
A lot of people eat rabbit.
A lot of people.
I've been told it's
Hassenpfeffer.
very
I've
tasty.
eaten rabbit,
Yeah.
but not in this country.
Oh.
I had to travel to
Where
experience.
were you?
Well,
You were Germany?
it was Haschenfuschen.
There was a
It was in
king.
Germany.
There was a king that wanted to eat Hassenpfeffer.
Oh boy.
Here we
and
go.
this one guy was trying to kill the rabbit, and the rabbit was very elusive to the point
Is
where
this a true story?
it drove,
remember this.
It drove the hunter
Yeah.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
And so
And he
the
was
king-
singing to himself,
Yes,
right?
yes. So then eventually the king hired the rabbit to cook the meal, but he made cooked carrots. And the king said, I swear that this is not Hassenpfeffer. I'm eating cooked carrots, and was happy.
This is a true story, Joe.
Probably about 1975, something like that.
And the song playing?
Killed the rabbit.
Killed the
Well, that was
rabbit.
actually no. That was the one where they did the.
What the hell is he talking about?
Yes.
What
people
is
are-
he talking
People are
about?
nodding. You know this. You know this.
The Kill the
true
Rabbit story?
Well, that was when they
Killed the
did the. What do you call it? Not a ballet. The
Why didn't
opera.
you do that when Katie was here? She
Oh,
would have
what have I
belted you.
done? I've killed the rabbit. Poor widow bunny.
I'm driving in
My car.
Yes.
I turn on the
That was just a side note on
radio.
Hassenpfeffer, though.
I pull you closer, but you say no. I'm driving in my car.
People
That
are
we
walking
can't
away.
play.
I'm going to get your whole house fixed up by
What
the
are you
time I'm
fixing
done.
now?
Windows.
Did
Nope,
them?
we already did that.
Did we do windows already?
Stucco?
Stucco.
I got your whole
did
house
that.
covered, including the garage door with precision door of Western Wisconsin and the entire metro. They've become the favorite garage door guy. You need a guy. You need a garage door guy. It's got to be precision. Put this number in your contacts, 612-263-6985. Precision Door, they tell you when they're on their way. When they get there, they do what they're supposed to do. They've got all the parts with them. They generally do not have to give you that song and dance about running back to the shop to pick up a bolt because they have it in the truck. They also do new doors, and they will send out a consultant for the free estimate. They have models for every budget. A new door can increase the value of your home, the security, the insulation. And they don't, remember this one when it's January 10th or whatever a weekend is in January and it's 20 below and your garage door fails, Precision does not charge more for their weekend service. It's Precision Garage Door, 612-263-6985, or you can book online at precisiondoormn.com.
This portion of Garage Logic at the Minnesota State Fair is brought to us by our friends at North American Banking Company. You can find them online at nabankco.com.
Perfect.
Thank you, man.
What are you going to call your shed, Joe? I call my shed a pole shed, just a shed.
I want one of those so bad. I
Mine's-
need the room. I need the room.
Mine is beneath your taste. It's 50 by 100, has a simple gravel floor. Some people call them pole barns or pole sheds. Sherman Buildings, they call them exactly what they are, toy boxes. And they come however you want them to, whatever size fits your needs, whatever style works best for you and your site. It could be simple, traditional post-frame building, or it could be awesome, like Joe's is going to be. Studs and steel on a concrete floor. Oh, maybe a heated concrete floor.
Why not?
Yeah, HVAC, insulation, plumbing, electricity. Think of these buildings, that Sherman Buildings, what they build, think of them as Swiss Army knives. Anything you can think of, whatever your imagination comes up with, they can do it. Log on to ShermanPoleBuildings.com. You'll get started on the very first step. Maybe get some ideas for a building of your own. Most importantly, get those toys of yours out of the yard, out of your garage, and into their own toy box. Log on to ShermanPoleBuildings.com. Sherman Buildings, quality erections since 1976.
Oh, boy.
Sorry about that, Chief.
How you doing, Chief?
Good.
How you
I
doing?
pointed right at you.
G. Ellers, say hello to Booker Hodges, Bloomington Police Chief.
Yeah.
Here.
You know, one of the reasons you're here, Booker, is we just always wanted to meet you. You come off really well on TV. And
It's all a show. Don't believe none of
No,
it.
I want to believe it. I want to believe that you're backing all that up. You run a tough ship. Where did you come from?
I was born and raised in Minneapolis, so my family's been here since 1949. So I think we're like official.
Oh, you're real.
Minnesota, yeah.
What part of Minneapolis?
North side.
Okay.
Or north, depending on what crowd you're in.
Yeah.
And what did you do before you became the Bloomington chief?
I was the assistant commissioner for the Minnesota Department of Public Safety.
Okay.
So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And why are you're so distinguished by the fact that you speak more plainly than other guys do. You don't seem to suffer fools gladly. And is that working?
Well, I know the public, oftentimes those in government use words and don't communicate effectively with the public.
Right.
Right. And I
like
think
our governor, for example.
Well, see, look what he's doing to me over here.
He's trying to get you into trouble, Chief.
But I think, a lot of times in government, people just don't effectively communicate, right? Because everybody's worried about blowback or worrying about they're going to make someone mad. And I just feel that, it's important to tell the truth, right? Regardless of what it is. And.
Well, I guess that's what I was driving at. You seem to speak your mind, and you don't seem to worry about where that will lead. I would consider that a virtue in my estimation.
Well, you know what I mean, and I'm walk a line here in uniform, but I didn't get this job. For me, personally, I believe God got me everything I've got. So,
right.
It's like one of those things for me where it's like, I'm going to do what I need to do while I'm here. Right, and that's just the way it is. Sorry.
Are we arresting bad guys enough?
100% we're arresting bad guys
Then
and
what
bad
happens?
women enough. Well, let me explain something to people, just kind of how our system works, right?
Okay.
And I'm not trying to dumb talk people, but as a police, our job is to arrest people, right? We are law enforcement.
Right.
All charging decisions are made by the prosecutor.
Right.
Right. So the prosecutor has sole discretion whether or not they choose to charge someone, regardless of what type of case we bring to them, right? So sometimes you can bring a case that's not airtight and they can decide to charge it or not. Or sometimes you can bring a case as, you know, a blind person could see that this person did this and they decide to not charge it.
Right.
So that's kind of the way our system works.
It's got to be terribly frustrating.
It is. And I'm going to put it with the caveat of why it's frustrating. It's frustrating for me personally because my focus is victims. Right? At the end of the day, nobody wants to go get hit upside the head. No one wants to get your stuff stolen. And if your stuff gets stolen or you get hit upside the head, you want that person to be held accountable as a politically correct term for it. You just want them to get locked up and go to jail, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
And when that doesn't happen, you know, that's the frustration, is when you're victim focused and the partners in the system seem to be victimizer focused. That's kind of where we run into problems.
How long have you been a police officer?
Oh man, you're starting to make me my age come out. 20 years now.
Okay, have you seen an increase in the number of repeat offenders you have to deal with?
Yes, I think absolutely the system is seeing a repeat. And, you know, typically what happens, unfortunately, it's like a roller coaster, right? Like you start letting everybody out of jail and then we get back tough on crime again. And you lock people up and it goes down and it's like this, as opposed to just, I think, handling the problems appropriately the first time so we're not dealing with people over and over again.
Right. Now, you're in Hennepin County. Do you have any words of wisdom about Mary Moriality?
Well, she's a duly elected county attorney.
That's very, very wise of you. Very diplomatic. Very diplomatic.
Under pressure, even. Yeah. Very good.
Now, you cover the Mall of America, correct?
Yes.
How does it work? How do you handle the shoplifters?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're running into Macy's, grabbing an armload of stuff, and they take off. Macy's security basically can't touch them or do anything with them. How far down or how far out is the call to you, and do you guys even have the manpower to respond to?
Yeah, so first off, in Bloomington, we have I believe Bloomington Police Department is the best police department in the country. And it's not because of me, it's because of the police officers that work there. I mean, there are some phenomenal people that work there. Now, we are the police department at the Mall of America, and we do not tolerate shoplifting. So if you steal there, you're going to jail. But there was a policy change that I made about 8 months ago where sometimes retailers would call and say, somebody stole some clothes, right? And they just want us to go get the clothes back and not have the person charged, where I'm not sending my police officers to go after somebody who the retailer doesn't want charged. So we made that policy change, and people know that. I mean, you know, if you come to the mall and you steal, you're going to get arrested and we're going to lock you up. I mean, that's what we do in Bloomington.
Right. Well, that's the way it's supposed to be.
You know what else I know about Bloomington?
Very well received.
I used to live in South Minneapolis, so I'd be in your town frequently. And Bloomington, one of the rare suburbs where I really pay close attention to my speedometer. And it's been that way since I was in my 20s, long before you came along.
Yeah.
But I think Bloomington kind of has a rep for strong police presence.
Well, I mean, you hear a lot of agencies that have problems recruiting. In Bloomington, we're actually overstaffed as a police department, and we've been fully staffed at least for the last 18 to 24 months. And we're the 4th largest city in the state, so I mean, we do a good job of staffing our police department. But obviously, traffic safety is something that we all take seriously. Every single person in here is, at some point, you're going to come in contact with a vehicle. Either you're riding in one or you're driving, right? And we all want to do that safely. Right?
Chief, does that mean then, since you're overstaffed, that you get called upon to assist with other departments?
Sometimes we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Booker a family name?
Yes. Yep.
Was it your dad's name?
Yep.
Is he still with us?
No.
What did he do for a living?
He was a caretaker.
Oh, yeah?
Yep. So he died when he was 50. So.
Okay. Do you have siblings?
Yep.
How many?
2.
Younger than you?
One older, one younger.
Are they in law enforcement?
No.
What
hell
led
no.
you? Hell no. What led you to law enforcement?
Every time I get asked that question, I don't know. I mean, I've always just felt the need to do this. Yeah.
You seem
I
to
don't know.
enjoy it.
Oh, I have fun every day. Every single. I mean, life is short, right? I mean, so my dad died at 50. My mom died when I was 12. You
Who
know, so
raised
it's
you?
like my grandma and me.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Did you go to North High?
yeah, 95.
Yeah.
95.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now
A lot
you
of
are
people,
showing your age.
Yeah, I know.
a lot of people think that it's just all about enforcing like speed limits, enforcing the law, arresting people. But a lot of police work, from my angle, from what I see on cameras and hear on the scanner, is just about helping people.
Yeah.
You guys really help a lot of people out, and you never get credit for that for some reason.
Well, you know, and I'll say in Bloomington, you know, I always say, you know, we don't have the red light district. We got the orange jumpsuit district. So if you come here and break the law, we're going to lock you up, right? But at the same time, we do have the compassionate and care district, right?
Yeah.
So we are the only police department that provides immediate in-home therapy for free for people in our city. Like if someone suffers an overdose or, you know, a family struggling, we provide that immediate in-home therapy for free to folks. We have social workers, so our community service unit, we are really engaged in helping our community. And that's the thing I think that makes Bloomington strong. At the end of the day, as a police department, we're going to do our job, but the community support that we have, and I know this is cliche, but from our elected officials on down, is really how allows me to get on TV and allows our officers to get out here and do the job.
Makes a difference.
I think I just want to emphasize this to the public. When you elect people, understand when you are going out here to vote, I'm not going to tell anybody how to vote, that affects what types of people hold these jobs and what types of people hold the rest of the jobs and what type of people want to come work in your community and help provide you with service. Because right now when we recruit in Hennepin County, some elected officials hurt us, but our elected officials in Bloomington really do help us out to buffer some of the other elected officials.
I think the real estate values in Bloomington just went up.
Yeah, no doubt.
Booker, I can't thank you enough. It was really fun to meet you.
I really hate to be the person to do this. We've just met a new friend, and we've been touting Chief Hodges for some time, but I'm going to ask a very delicate question that may result in controversy.
Brace yourself.
North High School, class of 95.
Yep.
Did you play basketball?
No, I was a hockey and soccer player.
Okay, as I was about to say, when the Faribault Falcons kicked the hell out of North basketball, I was thinking maybe there was going to be a controversy, but no, we're good. We're good.
No,
Okay.
Faribault played North?
Yeah, when the heck did that happen?
Yeah,
class of 96, we had Mr. Basketball.
Well, he was gone. He was class of 95.
I know, but we played them both years. That's why I was just trying to wonder if there was any.
You guys missed something.
I bodied him up.
Hold on.
go.
North had a high school hockey team?
Yeah, we're combined with Henry.
Oh, sure.
okay.
Okay.
So now Minneapolis has one team.
Yeah, yeah.
Is Henry even named Henry anymore?
Oh, man, I don't know.
We had to get rid of Henry because I think he met a slave or something. And Patrick Henry had to go. So we had to get a new name. Booker, have a long run. Be safe.
We'll do.
Stay in touch.
Thanks for having me.
Stay in touch.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to call you again.
Yeah.
You'll hear from us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chief.
Why can't everybody have a police chief like Booker?
Oh, yeah.
No doubt.
Nice. On the Axel theme.
Thanks, Chief. Rookie, would you tell us about our friends at Minnesota Masonic Charities,
I can
please?
certainly do that. mnmasoniccharities.org is the website, mnmasoniccharities.org. Several years ago, some great Mason guys got together and they said, let's put everything together and let's help people. They don't take government funds. That's why they're so efficient. So if you'd like to educate yourself, might be the Masonic home that they take care of the elderly and people that are recovering. It might be via scholarship. You might want to listen to their podcast. They've got a wealth of information on their website. It's mnmasoniccharities.org. And again, scholarship-wise, I think they award for next year rather soon. So check the closing date on that. Go to mnmasoniccharities.org. I didn't hear what Joe said,
That's
but
okay,
I'm sure I'll
Ruff,
find out.
you know what? That gives you an extra 15 to 20 seconds to talk to us about our friends.
They're not going to take up all our time here at the fair. Just do yourself a favor, educate yourself, learn more about this wonderful, wonderful place, mnmasoniccharities.org.
Very good. I do, John. Okay, great. All right.
This portion of Garage Logic at the Minnesota State Fair is brought to us once again by our friends at Donahue Stucco and Exteriors.
Steven's playing clavinet.
That's cool.
That is very cool. All right, boys. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Before you talk,
Yes.
I have to talk.
Yes.
Fellas out there, how many of you folks out there are donors?
Right here.
Good. We got a batch of them. I'm talking to you right now for LifeSource. They are the group, while they handle donations in much of the Midwest and Minnesota, and they'd like to get you registered. If you're not registered, let me tell you this stat. One person can save 8 lives through organ donation, and one person can heal more than 75 lives through a tissue donation with skin grafts for burn victims, and also donated bones could help with reconstructive surgery. Here in Minnesota, about 50% of men are registered, not quite 50. They'd like to get more registered for obvious reasons, and it's really easy to do to get registered. The easiest way is the way I do it. When I get my driver's license, I check the little donor box, and I'm a donor at that point. Also, if you buy a hunting or fishing license in Minnesota online, you can register. Your iPhone health app can get you registered, or you can go to menaretheanswer.org. Real easy. You can get registered in just a matter of seconds there. Again, that's menaretheanswer.org. Don't let misinformation stop you. You're never too old. Your body's never in too bad of shape. You can, whatever you've had wrong. If you've had some sort of illness, perhaps you think you didn't treat your body correctly. That happens to some of us, I think.
I'm Kenny.
You can still be a donor. Let them decide. Easy to register. It just takes a minute or two. Remember, just go to menaretheanswer.org.
GLers, I have this shirt. This is the Spoon Lake shirt. I've got Knack Hardware and Lounge, and I've got Number One in Anguilla. These are all available right here
Joe,
at our talk shop.
The cool one is the fire department.
I gotta get the fire department.
That one
too.
is awesome.
Yeah, that is a cool shirt.
We have been honored today to have Pat Donahue with us, Stephen C. Anderson. John Heidt has joined them on his guitar. And they're going to send us out with something that, you've decided you have the most fun with, maybe?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun with this. It's a blatant advertisement for my Wednesday night gig at the Midway Saloon
All right.
in St. Paul.
Wonderful.
But the lyrics have to do with just that, and it just goes like this.
It's a sing-along. Help us out.
Sing-along. The lyrics are
that's right.
Midway Boogie.
Midway
Boogie.
You guys remember Midway Boogie.
Get ready, GLers.
Well, if everything is all wrong and nothing is right, there's a place you can go on a Wednesday night to do the Midway Boogie.
Midway Boogie.
It's the Midway Boogie.
Midway Boogie.
And it's every Wednesday from 6 to 8. It's at the corner of Snelling University Avenues. You get the rhythm and blues and get home for the news, cause it's the Midway Boogie.
Midway Boogie.
It's the Midway Boogie.
Midway Boogie.
It's every Wednesday from 6 to 8. Ain't that right, Johnny Height? It's hot and the beer is cold, and it's easy to see that you're never too old to do the Midway Boogie.
Midway Boogie.
It's the Midway Boogie.
The Midway Boogie.
It's every Wednesday from 6 to 8. Well, now the Midway Boogie is just a little tune that we play when we play at the Midway Saloon. It's the Midway Boogie.
The Midway Boogie.
It's the Midway Boogie.
The Midway Boogie.
It's every Wednesday from 6 to 8. I got this one here.
boogie.
It's the Midway Boogie.
Midway
They
boogie.
do it very woogie.
Midway boogie.
It's the Boogie.
Midway boogie.
And it's every Wednesday from 6 to 8.
Boy, are they good. Pat Donahue, Stephen C. Anderson, Johnny Heidt, right here in GL. And we'd like to send you away with an annual event with the Poet Laureate of Garage Logic, Mr. Otto, and you have a poem that you've written. Are you in the Garage Logic Hall of Fame?
I sure am,
Yeah, he's
Mayor.
wearing his medal. All right.
Go ahead, Ken. Sorry.
Very important question before you start. Is
Just a long poem?
Yeah, is this a long poem?
Kenny's got a show.
Well, this is an old poem. This is actually the first one I ever did almost 20 years ago on this very stage.
Oh, really?
We have a bus to catch.
But I have to make it different. I have to change it up a little bit.
Fine.
So
Your time, the clock's running here, pal.
I'm going to do it in the style of your favorite guy.
All right.
Our 45th president of the
God.
United States. And you know what, Mayor? I've seen a lot of mayors. He's a great mayor. Even though he doesn't like me, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make America great again. And Garage Logic great again.
That's not bad, Otto.
So I'll start off. It's a warm afternoon. Sitting in my garage. I've got a huge garage. I've got lots of cars. You've seen them all. Inside of my house, like my own little lodge. Have you seen houses? The prices are incredible. Biden and Harris. Inflation is terrible. Just terrible. I sit there like I do all week, looking for something to tweak. I tweaked a lot. I've tweaked a lot of things. Speaking of that, have you seen the people? There's a lot of people here.
A lot of people.
A lot of people here at the fair. It's incredible. Then I remember to look at the clock. It's time for Garage Logic to rock. Speaking of rocking, have you seen the incredible, incredible prices of things? They're just terrible.
Very
Aren't
high.
they terrible?
Very high.
Speaking of rocking, have you seen your governor? Just what an awful guy. Who voted for him? I don't know. But I get out a drink and pour it in my cup while listening to the announcer say, "Start her up." And if I'm elected again, I'm going to start her all up again. All the great policies that we have. You don't want Biden, Harris, let me tell you. Joe and the gang, they come on the air. And I sit in my garage. I said it was big. It's the biggest garage you've ever seen, let me tell you. With the wind in my hair. It's real hair, I tell you. I swear, it's real. It's not fake. It's not fake news. It's not fake news. But I listen to the guys, and they sure are fun. But after the show is done, I've got more campaigning to do. And I get out of my garage, my huge, huge garage, like Oprah huge, Rosie huge. They're just huge. Oh my God. And I remember all the great things that Joe said, even though he doesn't like me. He doesn't like me. Yeah, that's okay. But I open that door of that garage, which Precision Tune, they gave it a little tune-up. They did a great job. And I was wishing I was back there on that front porch, here at the fair, the great state fair. I've been to a lot of fairs.
A lot of fairs.
A lot of fairs. On that warm afternoon, sitting in my garage, outside of my house, like my own little lodge.
Right. Is that it?
That
Matt Otto.
You want a second verse?
No, you threw one at us there, Matt. It was very fun.
That
very
was fun.
good.
Great job, man.
well, you know he goes off script when
Right,
he reads,
exactly,
so I had to do
exactly.
the same.
Yeah, all right.
It almost,
All right,
it kind of
thank
sounds
you.
like Jimmy Durante, too.
A little bit.
Or
a little
maybe
bit.
Trump has been hitting the helium.
Well, if you want, I can do it in the style of our favorite sports guy, you know.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Matt.
Anytime.
The Poet Laureate of Garage Logic, Matt Otto, ladies and gentlemen, from Gumption County. And once again, thank you to Patrick Donahue and Stephen C. Anderson and John Heidt. And have a wonderful, wonderful remaining state fair.
Let's promote their
GLers.
websites and YouTube channels. Because, Pat, you guys both have YouTube channels, I would assume, correct?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Pat. Plug yours.
It's called Guitar Song.
guitar song.
That's my YouTube channel.
All
and
right.
your website?
PatDonahue.com.
Nice. Right. Stephen?
Stephen C. Music, easy to Google, find me YouTube, and I'm just glad to be back here after a stunning defeat.
Now, you were here once previously.
Yeah, any fans of the Amateur Talent Contest, I was here maybe in the mid-'80s, and I lost to a baton twirler doing a Disney medley, and so I've been recovering ever since today. Today I returned, yes.
This is your first return to the fair?
Yeah, I did a Billy Joel song, and I was dating a gymnast at the time. I hit a backflip at the end, and that still wasn't enough. So.
Wow. Tough crowd.
Well, I'm glad you came out. Thank you very much.
Took GL.
Thank you very much.
Let me thank these fellas because it's been a pleasure. I appreciate it.
Well, John, was it humbling?
It was. Well, come on. It's Pat Donahue.
Yeah,
Steven,
right.
come on.
All right. It was fantastic.
Of course it
Thanks,
was.
John.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you all.
Johnny.
Thank you all. Have a great fair, Gumption County residents. Thank you.
And we should make a quick mention to all of our state fair sponsors here at the Great Minnesota Get Together. Our thanks to Dino's, Giggles, of course, our good friends at Pronto Pup that sponsor the state fair every single year here in Garage Logic. And we're the supporters of the Such on a Stick, Donnelly Stucco and Exteriors. It couldn't have been done without each and every single one of you, and we really do appreciate it. And as we've mentioned YouTube a couple of times here at the Great Minnesota Get Together, don't forget to subscribe to the Garage Logic YouTube channel. It's right there for you. Yeah, it's full segments, it's video shorts, it's behind the scenes footage, it's all sorts of stuff that's neat. And thanks to all of you that have, the thousands of you that have subscribed to the Garage Logic YouTube channel, and also the Daily Logician. It's an email. It comes right to your inbox, and it includes the most up-to-date episode of the podcast each and every day, including a weekly note directly from the mayor himself. 360 days. We'll see you at the fair.